welcome again, everybody, into the In the Driver's Seat segment here on YSN, episode 2. And we are joined by two racers this week. The Boomhauer Bandit, of course, Corey Renforth, and a new young man to our show, Zach Robles. Gentlemen, welcome in. Appreciate you.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Big time last week, Mr. Renforth. You were really pushing the YouTube limits here on the network, and a lot of people very interested not only in the new segment here on YSN, but kind of getting to know the racers a little bit. You guys had a race last night. We'll get to that in a minute, but over the last week, what's it been like for you there, Boomhauer Bandit?
Well, a lot of people like that pie on the shelf reference. I guess that's like the number one thing I got from it. Everybody talking about that.
But it's nice to be able to kind of shine a light on the local race scene, so to speak. So, yeah. And you guys, I mean, you obviously brought Zach with you here today. Yeah. We're going to talk a little bit about it and Zach's history in racing and what he does. And but before we go, you have some exciting news from last night's race.
Well, it was just an exciting race. I was scared to death at first. We're on the big time, Sharon Speedway. For us, that's big time around here. Tony Stewart and all them guys drive on that track, and sometimes you can feel like you don't belong there. But I got over that. Heat race was a little rough, but I had a hell of a time in that feature. Sometimes you drive the car, sometimes the car drives you, and it just drove itself, and I just was watching it.
Now, the best part about it is you said before we got on, probably the best line I've ever heard. It didn't even feel fair for everybody else because felt like you were in a rocket ship.
Yeah, I told Jared Thompson, I go, man, they should have penalized me for cheating because that car was on something, dude. I don't know what drugs that car got on. I don't know who did something to it while I was out there. But, man, it was performance enhancing. That thing, it was locked up, dude. I mean, it was locked up.
You were the Mark McGuire of race cars yesterday?
And Sammy Sosa. That thing was juiced. That thing combined the two. I'd like to be Ken Griffey because he did it natural, but that thing was on something.
Zach, from a perspective of just watching the Boomhauer Bandit, I mean, what has it been like for you to just kind of soak in what last week was, and now you're on the show. Now you're one of the featured guests.
To be honest with you, it's been crazy to even think I'm here. It's really an honor to be here to be able to talk to you. But as far as with the racing, yeah, it's fast, we're quick, and everybody definitely gives it their all, which definitely makes it really exciting for the fans out there. And we're going to continue to do so for the rest of the season. So It's a good time.
What's fun is you talked about it last week. You guys are like a family. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
when you get into that, and I'll tell you what, seeing the support of the interview from last week and seeing kind of what it's all made of. I mean, people are excited about this. There's not a whole lot of light shining down on the local race circuit around here, no matter what the class is. Yeah. So I'm excited to get you guys up and you teach me something because I don't know a whole lot about it. Like you talk about a rocket ship, I'm like, okay, hey, must have been fast. Must have been a good night for you. Yeah. I mean, you called me at 10:30 again when I'm like dozing off, and all of a sudden I'm like, I hear him go, he ain't gonna be disappointed. He ain't gonna be like. I pick up and you're already talking. It was wild. Not that I expect any less from you. Like I imagine that you dial the number and start talking immediately before you press send. But
I was having a conversation with Jared, who was telling me I was number one, in not so politically correct fashion, I guess.
Oh.
I kind of did him dirty on a restart. It's kind of a get out of my way move, and I'm shooting to the inside. Yeah, it just.
And you finished what?
I think I finished 8th. They really didn't. They really didn't post anything or nothing. I looked on the race pass. It wasn't on there, was it?
Yeah, I looked on Race Pass. Surprisingly, I didn't see any results either.
Yeah, and so they must not.
Are you familiar with what Race Pass is?
I'm not. No.
Race Pass is an app where you could search any track and any racer that's registered on there. And it pretty much shows you the results of how a particular driver did, the results of who's entering in what race. Gotcha. So it's definitely a very useful tool, and my race pass.
Then we can get the lineups off of it,
So it's like what we use Game Changer for baseball and softball. You're using Race Pass for that.
Yeah, we can get our lineups off of it, and you can stay back at your car, and you don't have to walk up and look. You can see where you're starting.
So your night last night, you talked to me about you started kind of.
Started well because of the heat race was an up and down affair. The first half of that heat race, I wouldn't say the car was like it wasn't a feature, but it was good. And then the second half, it was just like, what am I driving? What kind of wild animal I got by the tail, dude? But it was crazy. I mean, that thing was. And then I spun around and I hit, what's that kid's name? The 55 car?
Mike.
Mike. So I spun around and hit him backwards, and it just, so I ended up finishing like next to last in the heat race. So I think I started 15th out of 16. I think it got up to about 10th or so, and then I decided in the feature race, this was in the feature race, got up to about 10th because it was doing good. And as Zach said on his recording, you can watch, Corey spun, because I did, like a dummy. I spun that thing out just all by myself. Nobody assisted me or nothing. Just going to lose control of this thing real quick. Go back to 16th. Then we come all the way back up to 8th because that thing, I don't know. Yeah. I got mad at myself. I think Carr got mad at itself, and it was like, I'm going. He's like, you just hold on, son. We are going.
I mean, last week you said, sometimes you drive the car, sometimes the car drives you. Was that one of those situations?
Yeah, it was just doing what it wanted to do, and I was just a spectator, just sitting in a seat. That's it. I just had a good seat to spectate because I was like, man, this thing can do anything it wants to right now.
So the YSN car finishes 8th last night. Proud of that finish,
Yeah,
obviously.
We have the Chargers cars with us. Then they're a class above us.
Yeah.
So there were 7 of those. We're the second car out of our classics.
Wow.
So, and
Congratulations.
we were first, but Taylor Sukon, you dog, you. I hope you watch this because you jumped me on that start. And we're gonna have at it. But we hugged it out last night because that was some good racing. Me and him had. We raced against each other 3 times because I passed him, spun, passed him again, and then at the end there we had that. I mean, we went to war with each other, but
awesome.
It was fun, and we were hugging and laughing at each other afterwards. Like, that was some good racing.
I love it.
I think that's what it's about. Like one race at Goods, Zach said he saw that 43 car beside him, and he's like, I got to drive this thing harder because I can't let that happen.
I remember that race.
And I love that when somebody's like, I see you, I got to push harder. I'm like,
Yep.
Good, because I think I'm a joke. I think I'm a joke.
You're the bandit.
I think when everybody sees me, there's like, what's this guy think he's doing up here with us? Like,
So we have somebody else to talk about. When you see the 43 car, what are you thinking? Don't hold back. Don't worry about that him being right next to you.
What I'm thinking is I got to beat him because I know he's going to give me his best, and even we're all family out there.
Yeah.
I'm out there to definitely try to do the best I can, especially for my team owner, Mr. Tyler Purnell and the Purnell family. With my type of background that I have, to be honest with you, I'm blown away I even have the opportunity to do this. So I owe it to him. I owe it to my 2 sponsors, Siciliano Chassis and Machine and Lips Market of Salem, Ohio, to do the best I can. And I'm just out there to have fun. But at the end of the day, I know everybody I'm on that track with, I can pretty much call my race family, and it's an amazing feeling to have a family like that.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about you, Zach. Get your background. When did you get into racing? How has it been for you, and why do you get out there every single week and do it? You kind of alluded to it a little bit, but let's talk about you. How did you get into racing?
Well, I would say the main year that I got into racing was 2002. I was approximately 7 years old, and what it was growing up, it was just my mother and I. Hi, Mom. And so, like, she worked a lot, so I always end up with, like, some match bar cars in front of the TV watching NASCAR every weekend. My particular favorite driver back when I was younger was Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Uh-huh.
So pretty much growing up, it was just my mother and I, so we didn't have a lot of funding to do for me to be able to get out there at a young age, which is not necessarily anybody's fault of their own. But through a young age, I was taught to always work hard, always, for a better term, get a little dirt on you.
Sure.
Literally, dirt racing. But because you can't do it, to be able to make it in life, you need to get experience. And what it was with that. All right, so I went through high school, went through college, graduated, and what it was is I was looking to keep busy on the weekends. And through a mutual friend, I got introduced to my team owner, Mr. Tyler Purnell, up at Michael Mercer's Raceway in 2019. So he was a really cool guy, and I went up to him and was like, hey, you're going to be doing this often? I wouldn't mind coming out and volunteering. And to say being part of a team would be cool because it'll keep me busy. I could learn more about cars, things like that. And he was like, yeah, sure, come on. And for the next 3.5 years at Beast Motorsports, our team, I stuck with them. And year 3, I have an opportunity to drive the Classics Dwarf in the division, the
That's
number
awesome.
52.
That's awesome, man. I mean, that's a, I don't want to say rags to riches story, but because you're still working on it, but obviously one of those situations where you followed your dream, you followed your path, and you were going to make it happen no matter what. What was your first race? What was going through your head? What was going through your body? The emotions going through you?
Okay, I got pretty much 2 first race experiences. Like while I was volunteering for Beast, I also had the opportunity to run go-karts for 24N Racing, which is a small team out of Butler, Pennsylvania, racing at Slippery Rock. To say for the first race with that one, I mean, it was a go-kart, but I was still nervous. But then again, that little bit of nerves is good because it'll help you focus. It'll help you.
Adrenaline.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I definitely went out, did the best I can. I know it was a part-time schedule then, to where like again, not a lot of funding, trying to do what I can with what I got.
Yeah.
The results really weren't what we expected them to be, but at the end we were finishing. That's all that matters. And I was doing that while I was volunteering with Beast. And this year, I had the opportunity to hop in Mr. Purnell's dwarf car.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the nerves started kicking in
Yeah.
because I was shaking like crazy. But yeah, so I went out there for the first testing too and got a feel of it, and pretty much to sum it up, it felt like a rocket ship. So because it was fast, it was fun, I was smiling in non-belief, and just continuing the race, learning as I go. And yeah, actually a couple weeks ago had my best career finish of 6th, which I'm very proud of, and looking to get better throughout the season.
Love it. All right, so when you get in there, I mean, it's head on a swivel all times, right? I mean, it's constantly like looking to your right, looking to your left. Where the hell is the 43 car? Stay a hell away from him because we don't know what's going to happen. He doesn't even know what's going to happen.
Hopefully they all think I'm clean. Like, hopefully, like he said, I'm gonna give him 100%, but it's not gonna be dirty racing.
You don't exactly get a name like the Bandit by racing clean all the time, there, cowboy.
Yeah, but yeah, I try. I don't intentionally hit nobody else.
No. But
But
when
I
you,
have a hard time. You talking about describing, like when I'm at work, I'm like, I don't like saying people I race against. I'm not against these guys.
yeah,
I'm for them.
Yeah.
I often just say I race with them. Like,
yeah,
I don't find myself saying, this is a guy I race against. Because our car looks like it does because the guy that I race with, he did
Yep.
the decals and stuff. So how can I say I'm against him?
That's true.
He made the car look like it looks. And, I'm not against
Now listen,
that.
as much as kumbaya as we're talking right now around the campfire, as soon as you get in that four-wheel beast,
It's a different mindset.
I was gonna say.
You're gonna get whatever spot you can get, but like when I finished second, like I said, that kid wasn't happy about being in second, but everything he threw at Steve that night was clean. Like he didn't hit him.
yeah,
He was just gonna throw that. It was Brandon. He was gonna throw that car in there as hard as he could, but he didn't. He wasn't gonna take Steve out. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what you want to do. You want to let somebody know, like, I'm going with this thing. I'm going to give it every shot, but it's not going to be dirty. So that's just how you got to kind of look at it. I don't want to pay for a bunch of parts. He don't want to pay for a bunch of parts. Nobody, like I said, it can get expensive if you choose to
Yeah.
drive. Like, you don't care about what the cost is.
So you cross the finish line. Obviously, it's a heated race, and you've crossed the finish line. You guys get out, and it's a great race.
We're back there laughing with each other. Like, hey, man, that was fun. That was a good time. Zach wasn't out there with us last night, and I wish we could have been, but he did. But he always shows up and supports, even if he's not racing. that's why I invited him here
Yeah.
today, because no matter what, even if he's not driving the car, he is there.
Yep.
And he is for us. He
Yeah.
is with us. Like,
Yeah.
he's, he gave us all a little bit of coverage on his video that he made last night in the feature race. And like I said, he got me when I was doing a donut for no reason. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to have things like that. And I like to go out when I can't race and try to support people and help people.
Yeah.
Even if it's just minor stuff like pushing a car around to give somebody a little bit of help. But I mean, that's what it's about. Just kind of, we're all just, we got families and stuff, man. This is not, but about, I mean, Matchbox owes us some money, by the way. You should write a letter, because this is two weeks in a row. We're like, how did it start? Oh, Matchbox cars.
Yep.
And we went to Sharon last night, which my mom's name's Sharon, so I was like, well, if I disappoint this racetrack, it won't be the first Sharon I've disappointed in my life. So, I mean,
I think you just found your quote for week 2.
it's definitely going to be number 2. But she was there. Hey, on all her disappointments, she was there. My mom was there. That was the first time ever. After this being my second year, she finally showed up.
Added pressure? No.
No, last year I think it was just a COVID thing, and she's a kook. She got a little scared by the news. But this year she said she was making it out. I mean, yeah, nobody wants to completely fall on their face in front of their mother, especially like we have a similar upbringing. Like, my dad was gone. I was raised by my mom and my grandparents. So like, there is that. And my brothers, Clint and Paul. Clint got upset. I didn't say his name last week. But, so, like, there is an added pressure. Like, if your mom's there and she raised you, like, single mother type stuff, and you don't want to let her down again.
Yeah.
Like I've done so many times.
I think we all get that.
Yeah. I mean, we're mama's boys.
That's it.
Like, when I had daughters, my brother, Clint, again, there you go, 2 times, buddy. He told me, he's like, there's a reason why they call them mama's boys and daddy's girls, because I was like, man, I got daughters. That's all I got. God really doesn't like me. But, like, he's like, yeah, they call them daddy's girls for a reason. And then you find that out. Like,
Yep.
And we're all mama's boys.
That's it, man. You translate that to I mean, when you have girls, they become daddy's girls, and that's the way it goes. I mean, there's a reason for that. I mean, your brother's dead on.
Yeah.
But all right, Zach, let's talk added pressures for you. When you get in that car, is there anything that kind of says, okay, I have to finish so and so, or you just get in and do your best and let the chips fall where they may?
Well, there's always going to be pressure there. Like, the main thing with me is to not make any silly mistakes and cause damage to the car. Especially with the background I came in with, definitely not having a lot of funding. I don't mean to be referencing to that. But it definitely incorporates into my driving style to where I want to be aggressive, but I want to pick my punches and take the opportunities when the window is open. And as a result with that, I would rather have that philosophy, do the best I can and finish races instead of making an aggressive move and tearing the car up, because that's not going to get anybody anywhere.
Right.
But as far as any other additional pressures, to be honest with you, I'm also taking the approach of just enjoying the ride, because behind that wheel is when I actually feel free and when I feel really happy, like personally inside, because I'm not married, I don't have kids or things like that, and to be honest with you, growing up, there wasn't anything else I really wanted to do.
Yeah.
So I'm just enjoying the ride, enjoying every moment, and just enjoying it before good Lord takes it away for some reason.
Favorite race moment for you so far in your young career?
Favorite race moment?
Don't you say finishing ahead of that 43 car. I'll slap taste out of your mouth.
Well, I guess if my favorite race moment probably would be my best career finish, because I was feeling really good that day. Felt comfortable, the car was handling amazing, and I know eventually once my career rolls on, I'm going to get even some better moments, but having the best career finish would probably be the best one.
Okay. how do you prepare yourself mentally? I mean, like, how do you fuel your body? I mean, people don't realize that you got to like take care of yourself because you are an athlete out there. No matter what people say, you're out there.
To prepare myself, it definitely starts on Monday morning. I do work a 9 to 5, but what I usually do beforehand is I would get up at 5 a.m. Monday through Friday, and actually I would go to the gym and lift some weights, run 2 miles, 3 miles a day.
He's got the best biceps at Goods Raceway, man.
I was gonna say, Corey, are you getting up at 5 o'clock and working out?
No, dude.
Cookies and
I don't even. This is non-cookie fatness here, dude. This is straight up like just food.
you have a
man.
body of a Greek god over there in the
Dude,
43 car.
somewhere underneath 45 pounds of fat.
And the
there
hair
is-
of Fabio.
Oh yeah, that is. You people love it. You gotta do it for the folks.
So you're up at 5 a.m. You're working out. I mean, this is people look at this and they go, okay, well they're just sitting in a seat and doing this, and they don't realize what it takes. You know, the mental preparation, the physical preparation, and obviously getting yourself ready emotionally as well.
Oh,
It's
yes.
dangerous.
Especially if you have any like thoughts in your head that are negative from that week, you cannot take that inside that cockpit of that race car, because other than that, you're going to make stupid mistakes, and it cannot end up wrecking you. You can end up wrecking the people that you race with, and it just leans to be a mess pretty much. So, like, it has to have clear thoughts, clear mind, nice, calm, cool, and collected. You got to stay cool. So you got to have clean thoughts whenever you get in that car. But other than that, to prepare for it, I do get up at 5. I do work out as much as I can. I do run as much as I can. I do sit in a sauna with a hoodie and sweatpants on.
Yeah.
I just say with that, it can like mimic the heat a little bit, so I can be able to get comfortable, and I'm perfectly fine with it. And then I do my job, and then when we do, I like to get together with my team owner and go to the shop, figure out what we need to do, because, again, you have to get a little bit of dirt on you to be successful in this sport. And anytime I get a shop opportunity to go in there, learn, work on it, fix it with my own hands, I welcome it, because that's what backyard racers definitely have to do, grassroots racing. You have to get in there and you have to work it, because nobody's going to give this to you.
Yeah.
You have to dig for everything you got. And anytime I get a shop opportunity, I'm open for it. Every
Love
time.
it. Yeah, I love it. I think one of the things for me is the questions for this is easy, because I'm just inquisitive about your sport, about you guys, what got you into it. But here's the one: is you said you had your Matchbox cars, you're watching NASCAR every weekend. You get to go to any track in the world. Where would you want to go?
Now, are we talking dirt racing or any track?
Any
overall?
track overall that you've ever wanted to race on. It doesn't. I don't care what car. I don't care. I mean, it's your fantasy. What track do you want to race on?
The Yours.
I do. You go first.
I'd say Eldora.
Eldora?
Yeah.
Very
It's-
good choice.
It's a high banked, nasty, fast track. I'd like to try that. That sounds like fun.
Oh, yeah. Mine, actually, I would love to go to Knoxville, Iowa, and run on those guys with the Knoxville Nationals and things like that, because that is probably one of the biggest dirt racing events in the year.
Is it Knoxville? These jokers out in Knoxville, they get a little crazy, dude. Isn't that where they run like dwarf cars and mod lights with like sprint cars? Isn't that where they do that? Is that Knoxville?
Well, yeah, Knoxville, Iowa, but
Some crazy fool is gonna drive like an $80,000 sprint car around like a $20,000 mod light or a $6,000 dwarf car and end up wrecking that thing. I seen it. I watched the video. Guy hit like a dwarf car with an $80,000 sprint car, and he's like, "I'm like, yeah, you just tore up an $80,000 car on a $6,000 car."
oh, gosh.
But they're all out there like they got like sprint cars, mod lights, dwarf cars, like pro stocks.
It's like Fast and Furious out there.
Yeah,
Whatever
they're just
you
like-
can bring.
Yeah, and like, like the sprint cars are like a negative 10 lap disadvantage, but they're gonna make that up quick, because I mean they're running like 10-second laps compared to people's 18-second laps. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you were asking last week about the time, and he recorded the whole race last night with 3 cautions.
I believe it was 3 cautions.
Nothing major, just, single car spin outs, me being one of which. Darn it. But it was like 15 minutes and 48 seconds, or something like that.
Something in regard. Usually a feature race within the Mud Lights indoors, it could last anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes. It depends on who's in the field and who's driving. But
Right.
with our particular group here at Goods Raceway, our home track, we always run pretty clean. So we get in, we get done, we handle our business, we get out.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
good
that
stuff.
should be about the standard. I mean, it's a bigger track, but you're also running faster, so
Right.
lap times probably similar to Goods Raceway, close to it anyway.
No, that's wild. I mean, just the fact that, the dedication that you guys have. I've done a little bit of research in the last week or so because people are excited about this. This is good for you guys. It's good for everybody. And we certainly appreciate, Zach, you pop it in today. Any final thoughts that you want to give? Another shout out to the owners, another shout out to the sponsors. We're very familiar with Liv's Market here on YSN, so feel free to take the floor. Any last shouts?
Oh, gosh. I'm going to go ahead and do this. For the rest of the season, whenever I run, I am actually doing a particular thing, giving back. What it is every event that I'm going to run, I'm going to put a name of a fallen soldier or soldier, first line worker, things like that on my car. So if anybody has anybody they want to nominate for me to put on, unfortunately it's just going to be simply duct tape with a name on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I would love to have the opportunity to represent that particular individual. Please feel free to get a hold of me somehow. If you find him, you'll find me. But for the rest of the season, I definitely want to give back in that type of regard. And last week, I want to give him a shout. I had a tribute to a fallen soldier named Emilio Farmer of Alliance, Ohio. And I just want to say it was definitely an honor to have his name on my car.
That's awesome.
But I plan on doing that and giving back a little bit because without those guys doing what they do,
Can't
him
do
and
what
I
we do.
wouldn't be able to race.
That's it.
But as far as goes, thank you, Tyler Purnell and the Purnell family for giving me a chance. I'm doing the best I can, and we're enjoying the ride, and we'll get a few wins this year, hopefully.
Social media, how do people get in hold of you?
Social media, if you look up Beast Motorsports on Facebook, it'll have a picture of the number 51 Mod Light. That would be the first way to do so. Or you could look me up, Zach Robles. You'll see a picture of my face in front of some sprint cars having a good time. So
Very good. Get a hold of Zach. Sponsorship opportunities, I'm sure, always available.
always available and highly, highly encouraged. Please email me at zrobles1 @kent.edu so we could be able to talk about it. I want to encourage that this is a NASCAR. It's not going to cost millions of dollars.
It's local.
It's all local grassroots racing that's helping everybody. Let's make a deal. I'm open to it.
There you go. Let's make a deal. And Core, what do you think? Final thoughts?
Yeah, you was talking about the mental preparations.
Mm-hmm.
He got to witness just having 2 older brothers. I'm not happy unless I'm degrading myself. So I mostly spend most of the time just talking about how awful I am, just because it's what I'm used to. And I know that's what I'm going to hear when I go visit my brothers at the track, like how I could have done it 10 times better. It's just natural. But I don't know. When I get in that car, I'm so nervous. He witnessed it. Like, I'm just like, I don't eat. Friday afternoon I eat, and that's the last time I eat till we're done racing on Saturday. I don't eat till after. I just can't.
Prepping that body like we talked about.
Yeah, I'm trying to
yeah.
trim some fat. Like, just making my body burn it. So,
For sure.
but I don't know. Once I get in the car, though, they've had to wake me up because I fall asleep. Just like I get comfortable in the car. Like I'm just like now it's peacetime. Like it's peacetime now that we're at war here. Like but it's like I can go to sleep now. I don't know. I'm just a weird dude. That's why they call me a bandit.
No.
Just an odd dude, man.
It's a mushmouth Boomhauer bandit. That's going to do it for In the Driver's Seat episode 2. If you'd like to get in touch with us, info@ysnlive.com. And of course, these guys, they're always out there. So, Zach, Corey, we thank you for episode 2. We'll see you next week for episode 3 of In the Driver's Seat right here on YSN.